Hello everyone and welcome to season 11 of Witches of the Moon. My name is Jen and I'm your Tuesday hostess. Now this very first week and our very first topic is all about our first steps on the pagan path. Now for me, as many of you've heard, if you've watched this channel at any time before and watched any of my videos, you know I've never denied that I feel like I've been on this path my entire life. Even though I didn't know what it was called, I've always done things that wasn't the norm, I guess is a good way to say it. I never did other things that other kids do. I mean, for me, it was all about leaving offerings to the fairies. It was about doing seances. It was about reading, pretending to read from a crystal ball, if you will. And so for me, that was very normal. And even though I did grow up going to a church, it was more for the social aspect, to hang out with my friends. It wasn't to hear the message in Sunday school. It wasn't to hear the message that the minister had. It wasn't any of that. Even as an adult, I didn't go to church for that reason. I enjoyed being around the people that I was with for the most part, most of them anyways. But then it got to a point where I couldn't deny who I was any longer. And so as I began to read more things and learn about different things, and it really started to click with me as to who I was and what I was all about. And so one of the things that my husband and I did, we did an online talk show called Your Life Matters. And we started this while we were still going to the church. And, even though we talked about numerous topics, Your Life Matters was a show that was based on authors and real life topics that everybody could relate to. We actually did an interview with Judica Illes, and that was one of my favorite interviews. We talked about all kinds of health problems, from breast cancer to, people who were cutters and people who pulled their hair. There was just a number of different topics. And one group in particular that we did an interview with was a paranormal group. And we were actually invited to go with them on an investigation. And it was there that I was introduced for the second time in person to someone who was Wiccan. Now, the first time that I ever met anybody who was Wiccan, and I didn't even really give too much thought to it, was when I was in high school. A friend of mine actually said his dad, or he was one of the two, was a warlock. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. And for me, it was not a big deal. I pretty much just accepted people for who they were, and I still do that today. I don't play into the he's this, she's that kind of thing. It's just not who I am. That's just not me at all. So pagan roots for me began as a child. It was something that I've always done. It's actually inside of me and a part of me. And that was even clarified even more when about a week ago I actually had a reading with someone. And it was really to find out where what I had hoped to gain and hoped to find out, which I did, was where my gifts, my abilities come from, my mediumship abilities, my psychic abilities, that kind of thing. And they actually come from they come from my ancestors, obviously. It's a very long line of that. But the other thing that she noticed, she said there was like 3 circles. There's 3 circles that are connected to me, and she referred to it as Maiden Mother Crone. And she says that is something that's within you. She says, although that is a Wiccan thing, you're not a Wiccan. And I'm like, no, I'm definitely not Wiccan. I am definitely 100% not Wiccan. But she said that energy is within me and always has been, and more than likely always will be. So there were a lot of other things that I knew already, but a lot of that was just even more confirmed. So yeah, that's pretty much it. My pagan path and my first pagan steps that I took was when I was a kid, and then when I was an adult, after we left the church, I really dove into everything. I wanted to learn everything that I could. There were things that just came natural to me, just as it does with my mediumship. There are things that just come natural to me. And so as I read things and I hear or I read about something that, I do, or something that I've done before, it all starts to click into place. And it's like, okay, well, that's why I do that, or this is how it should be done, or how I think it should be done anyways. So there is no right or wrong way of how you do things. So, but anyways, that's my journey, and yeah, so that's it for this week's topic, and I'll see you in the next topic, or in the following week for the next topic. Have a great day. Bye.